So what I'll be sharing with you today is what I came up with then, and I titled it Care Leadership. And I would just want to go through some slides on that care leadership, what it takes to be a care leader, and how you can use it at various levels of leadership you will find yourself, because leadership comes in various levels. So the care leadership experience sharing for career progression. This will be the agenda. Who is a leader generally, and who is an academic leader. Then I will try to run you through what I consider to be the traits of a care leader, the necessary skills that will make you an effective care leader, and what that care leadership entails, in my opinion. So essentially, when you are a leader, it makes no difference, is it in the industry or in academia? When you are a leader, you're essentially an influencer. You must be able to influence. You must be able to inspire. A leader essentially is somebody who can bring forth the innate talents and capabilities of his followers. I consider the man you're looking at as one of the greatest leaders of our time that actually caused a dent in the universe, one of his popular phrases. There's something like management is about persuading people to do things they don't want to do, but leadership is about inspiring them to do things they did not even know they can do. So essentially, as a leader, you must be able to inspire those coming behind you. Make them do things they don't even know they can do. So when you're talking about academic leadership, it's nothing just leadership in the academic setting, nothing else. Okay, so in my own understanding, care leadership is all about engaging emotional intelligence effectively in your role as a leader. It's not about the bottom line. Leave the bottom line. The bottom line will take care of itself. If you take care of the employee, the business will take care of itself. It is leadership that seeks to achieve organizational vision, mission, and goals by being sensitive to the emotional well-being of the followers. This is not what you will find in the corporate world. It's dog eat dog. Pull people down to get up and things like that. You are the professor, you are the boss. Your proteges, the professor is coming, they're all running behind him, carrying bags, carrying things and stuff like that. No, that is not care leadership. Care leadership puts the mentee forward and makes sure the mentee has everything it needs to do what it needs to do. You stand in the background and you're providing all the support that you can. Okay? So it's about taking care of the emotional needs of your constituency. So I brought out this care leadership from as an acronym from the things you need to do. It all borders on authenticity. Be real. Be yourself as a leader, because that's the best you can be. That's the only original. Try to be somebody else, you'll just be a second place. So just be yourself. With your pluses and your minuses, know yourself. If you know yourself, you know how to turn your minuses into pluses, because everybody has them. So you need first things to know yourself. You care actively for your constituency, and you go the extra mile to show it. Care about what concerns them. Care about your family. Care about their support system. So you must go the extra mile to know what concerns them. You act naturally. So what is care leadership again? It's convivial. That it is it's easy to entreat, so to say. You are very approachable because you are jovial, you are happy. Look at the adjectives here. It's not very often you see these adjectives to describe a leader. You're mirthful, you're merry, overjoyed, ecstatic, looking good, convivial, jubilant, peaceful, elated. That is, they see you, smile comes up on their face naturally. Just from your presence. The other trait you will need to have, you have to be appreciative. Appreciative of their little contributions. I cannot tell you how far that can go. When somebody comes to you, he believes he's falling short of the assignment maybe, and instead of doing the right thing, which is the right thing in code, talk him down, give a query, give a warning, strike one, strike two, and two others. Okay, can we make it better next time? Thank you for this effort you've put in, but I believe we can do it a bit better. And that even feedback will not come immediately. It's after you appreciate it, maybe the person leaves. Look for another opportunity. That thing that you did, or just thinking about it, can we look at doing it this way or that way? I believe that will make your work better. Another thing is care leadership is relational on many levels. On many levels. It's about relationships. And the first relationship is with the self. It's with the self. Because our relationship with everybody around us is essentially a demonstration of our relationship with ourselves. If you don't like yourself, you cannot like those around you. If you don't love yourself, you cannot love those around you. I believe that's why one of the holy books says, love your neighbor as yourself, not more than yourself. Because trying to say, I love you more than myself, anybody tells you that, don't believe them. Him or her, they're being funny. If you can love yourself, you will love those around you. So the most important relationship is the relationship with yourself. If you are comfortable in your skin, you won't have the fake superiority complex, which in my opinion is the highest manifestation of inferiority complex. You won't see yourself as bigger or better than anybody. You will have thoughts like these. If I was born where that person was born, I went through the educational background of that person, I'm from the family of that person, I had all the experience of that person has, I probably will behave exactly the same way that person behaved. So you have that at the back of your mind. The second relationship is between you and your fellow leaders. It has to be robust, it has to be very strong. I'll give an example here. Because you cannot predict the ripple effect of such relationships. So your relationship with your fellow leaders should be very strong, both at the horizontal national level and at the international level. The third relationship will be with your followers, which is what this program is all about, mentor-mentee. That relationship too must be very robust. I've alluded to this. It shouldn't be a master-slave relationship. It's a mentor-mentee relationship. Then the fourth one will be with the vision. You must be able to own the vision as if it was yours and run with it and make it happen. Relationship with stakeholders is talking about the stakeholders of the institution, be it institutions you have MOU with, the government is a very important stakeholder through the regulatory bodies. You must have a very good relationship with them, a robust relationship with them. But you must not compromise on your principles in having those relationships with them. So you must have good relationship with the stakeholders, the parents, the students, and you must know, the students must know what's expected of them. Your relationship with your support network. You cannot be effective as a leader if your support network is not having a good relationship with you. I believe one of the saying is happy wife, happy life. You cannot have a good, you cannot be too effective as a leader if you don't have a good support network. So you make sure that that base is settled so you can focus on your work. Give them what they need, provide for them, and make sure you get your support from them because you will need it to be a supporter of your mentees. You don't get support from your mentees. No, that's not your role. You have to provide support for your mentees, but you need that support too from somewhere. Okay, you don't get your support too much from the system. All the system has to do is pay you. Don't love you. You don't expect the system to love you or something like that. You got to pay me so that I can settle my base and that I provide the support I need to. So I provide for my own base. Then relationship with the source. This is very important. What is your source? By source, I mean, what is the entity of divinity that you ascribe to? Are you a Christian? Would that be Jesus? Would that be God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Are you a Buddhist? Would that be Buddha? Are you a free thinker? Would that be the source as your higher self? Whatever that source is, you need spirituality, or there will be a void that you will not be able to fill. And the other thing is that the care system is exemplary. It's not a do what I say, don't do what I do thing. It's watch me and copy me. Okay, you model the way, you inspire, that cannot be repeated enough. You challenge the process. If the process is not good enough, you enable them to act. You don't just demand and say, you don't throw them out there in the ocean and say, sink or swim. No, you enable them to act. And you encourage. So if you think you're going through a bad time, we all went through it. So you encourage your mentees. These are the traits I consider very, very important for a care leader. I call them the 5 E's. The emotional intelligence, we've talked about that. Erudition, you must be a master of your field. You must know what you're talking about. You must be almost an oracle. Though it's tough to be that these days because everybody has an oracle on his smartphone in form of AI. But there must still be things that your mentees know they have to come to you. They have to come to you, if only for your wealth of experience, the stories you have to tell and things like that. Okay. Empathy. Do as you will be done by. Feel their feelings. Okay. Expertise and enthusiasm. You must be upbeat. It does not matter. I was privileged to work outside of academia for a bit during my PhD. During my PhD training. And in that franchise, one of the things they will tell you is, it doesn't matter who died in your family. If you're coming out on your shift, you must wear a smile on your face. That speaks to enthusiasm and professionalism. You either don't come out for that shift or you come out on one of your uniform. It's your smile. They see you in that light. That somebody says, this person is more, they say, no, not my prop, not my VC, and things like that. The other necessary skills, communication, you do it relentlessly. You don't give room for ambiguity. It must be such that what you're communicating is understood. It cannot be translated to something else. That means you have not communicated. If you're getting not what you're expected to get as a result of that communication, that means you have not communicated. You do it relentlessly, you make sure they get it. You simplify, you make it direct. Okay, you don't try to over-impress with your erudition of the language. You look at the audience and you communicate appropriately. You listen and encourage input. That's one thing, again, that people miss in communication. You think it's all about you spewing it out. No. Very good communicators are actually very good listeners, active listeners, giving the prompts where it's necessary to guide people along. You illustrate with stories, and with experience, you have a lot of them, and you are fine with actions. Okay. Another very important skill will be that of accountability. It was mentioned before. You must be accountable. When you get to this end of the project, your progression we're talking about, some things will be assumed. It will be assumed that you're a good financial person, that you have all it takes to manage a budget and things like that. This you will have garnered by handling your research projects. But when it comes to the institutional thing, it's another ballgame entirely, because you'll be dealing with the state. So you need to prepare yourself for that with financial literacy. I cannot stress that enough. You don't say because I have a director of finance, you should take care of it. You can be put in trouble for that. Okay, accountability is good. You take more of the blame and less of the credit. That's a hallmark of a good leader. Why? Because you have the capacity to absorb the blame because of experience, because of age, because of whatever, than those you are mentoring. Okay. So when there is need to take one for the team, you are the one taking it because you are the leader, because the buck will stop on your table as the leader, both of an institution of either research or non-research institution, or even as a department. Okay. And you have to be humble. It takes humility to lead, because as a leader, you're still a learner. Every day we wake up, you learn. You lose, you learn. You read, you learn. You win, you learn. Everything in life should be considered as an avenue for learning, because nobody knows it fully. It has pleased the Creator not to endow anybody with 100% knowledge. That's why we do peer review. That's why we do other things we do in academia. Resilience. Life throws you a lemon, you make a lemonade. Focus on solutions, not problems. The problems will dissipate, because where you put your focus, that's where you put your power. That's where you put, anywhere you put your attention, your focus, that's where your power is. That's where you're putting energy into. And if you focus on the solution and not the problem, before you know it, it's as if the problem just goes away by itself, because your focus, your energy is not on the problem. Your energy is on the solution. And you fall down 6 times, make sure you pick something up. The falling is to pick something up. Like we said, you are influencer. As I'm not saying it like they have it in social media now, on the influencers that somebody is doing. So no, I mean, you can actually influence people, not by bling and things like that, but because of the qualities you have, the traits you have, and the things you can make happen for your mentees. The third point here, I'll go back to the second later. The third point is be vulnerable and charismatic. A lot of leaders think it's a bad thing to be vulnerable. It actually endears you to your mentees if you're vulnerable. Be quick to accept your fault. You're not trying to stand behind your opinion with an ego. You kill the ego. The logical argument that is logically consistent takes the day. That's one of the beauty of academia. We are scholars, we are called scholars, okay? Be vulnerable, be charismatic. The vulnerability will bring about your charisma, actually, and make others feel important. As a good care leader, you must be adept in the act of delegation. You must delegate. And that's the only way you'll be able to do everything you need to do and still have a good night's sleep. One, because you're not trying to cut corners, you have your integrity, nothing terrible is happening on your watch that is not codified. And you must be able to delegate. The delegation process is one of the strongest ways to bring up your mentees. So if something is urgent and important, you don't delegate that. That one is on your table. Okay. If it's non-urgent and important, you may delegate it, but you are sure the person you're delegating it to is somebody that you have trusted over time and have delivered. If it's urgent and non-important, you should delegate it. It's not worth your time. You can spend your time on something else, like the first one, urgent and important. If it's non-urgent and non-important, you must delegate it. That's the thing you will use to train your mentees to come up. So that's the cycle in the delegation process, okay? You choose an appropriate task, you choose the appropriate person, round peg and round hole. You set clear objectives and plan. They know what is expected of them, okay? The implementation, then you monitor. You are not macro-managing, no, you monitor. 2 different things. Not that we don't do, no. Give them a lifespan. You can check a day before the deadline, how far they have gone, if they need your help, just for feedback. You evaluate when they deliver. You review, and the cycle goes on different things. That is the only way you can manage a research institution and not lose your research focus as an academic. Or you before you know it, you just go all into administration. That's just an appointment. It will end, and you have to go back to your first love. That's a way to make sure you're not redundant when you go back to your first law. So just wrap it up by saying this care leadership thing, I believe, is a veritable approach for optimal networking towards career progression. If you fulfill all these things I say, it is almost inevitable that you have very good network of collaborators, mentors, mentees all over the world. And if it is adopted early in your career, it can become a determining factor for career success to take you to the end of that progression we're talking about. And it is applicable at all levels of leadership. Thank you for this time.